I pitched him the idea, and he's like, listen, I have a U.S. bank account. It's got $150,000 in it. The money's yours. And I was like, what?
He probably was a full shock right there. Hey guys, welcome back to Chai and Chat. This is Salman here. We got Farouk, and we have our special guest today, Ibrahim Abe Abukwaik. All right, before that, guys, I know it's been a long time. We're super excited to be back and to shoot this video with Abe and to talk about the hustle. I know everybody's been home with COVID-19 going on. As of right now, the numbers are still going up. I hope everybody's family is doing well and everybody's safe. Besides that, Farouk, you got anything to say before we begin?
No, just, wear your mask. Do it for yourself, do it for your family, do it for your friends. And that's it. With that, let's get into it.
Yeah.
So what do we have here actually before we
we got something special today.
Yeah.
We don't have chai, but we have Moroccan mint tea, the Porsche, and the Lamborghini.
Lambo, Porsche, Ferrari.
So I mean, you must love cars.
I'm a huge car fan. Yeah, I love cars. So
nice.
Yeah, these are the big three.
Yeah, thanks for the Ferrari, by the way.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Dude, that's my favorite cup, so treat it well.
Will do. So to get right into it, so Abe.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about you, what you do, your life, and then maybe we'll get into a few questions and some of the things that we see that you do, and would love to know a little bit more about and the viewers. So.
Totally. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I'll give like a quick kind of run through my story. So growing up, I played soccer, right? So I played soccer my whole life as a kid growing up, and I always wanted to go pro. Yeah. So I would train hard in the U.S. It was like 2 hours a day, which by this standard is a pretty good amount of time. It's not crazy, but it's a good amount. And when I was 17, I had the opportunity to go play professionally for the first time. So this was in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I got scouted to go play, and the offer came up, and I couldn't say no. So I packed my bags. This was the middle of my junior year of high school, and I moved down to Argentina. I didn't speak a word of Spanish. I was good, but compared to the guys down there, I kind of sucked. So it was like a big adjustment. The reason why I like starting with that as my kind of beginning of my career is because it has nothing to do with entrepreneurship, but has like so much to do about life. So when I got there, over here you pay to play. Yeah. Over there you're getting paid to play. Right, so the dynamic changes a lot. So now, if we're on the same team, over here in the States, it's like it's all friendly. It's like, all right, we'll win together and lose together as a team. You know what I mean? It's all like, there's a lot of camaraderie initially, right away. Yeah. If you make the team, you're friends. Over there, I'm this like foreigner trying to take someone else's spot. So these guys want to like rip my head off.
How old are you again?
I was 17.
You were 17 then.
Yeah. So and like they literally tried. Like I would get into daily fights. I'm talking about people punching me in the face, like nosebleeds. Like I had my lip cut open. Like in practice, they would use their cleats and like basically cut up my legs, my ankles, everything like that. They would elbow me. I mean, like it was like mental, physical, emotional abuse for like 3 months.
So you're like an outsider.
Yeah.
Coming in, trying to take up one of their spots. What's...
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like I'm competing with 2 or 3 other guys for that spot. You know what I mean? And whoever doesn't win goes home. And I'm fortunate to come from like a pretty strong financial background. Yeah. These guys came from nothing. You know what I mean? So like, if they lose, they're going back to like they call them barrios, which are like what's the English translation?
Village.
It's kind of like village, but it's like a very, very poor area. Yeah. So
I have a question. So how did you convince your parents that you want to do this? I mean, because like I'm pretty sure the viewers don't know. Like your background is you're half Arab and half Desi. Yeah. So being a Desi...
Isn't Desi Arab too?
I mean, no.
This is Desi, Arab is Arab, bro.
So my mom is Pakistani.
We're all one end of the day, but still.
Yeah. So my mom is Indian Pakistani, and my dad is Palestinian. Yeah. And my dad is like a soccer nut, like crazy, right? Yeah. So like, I never really got into the details of like why they let me win.
Yeah.
But like my dad was all for it, and that's all I really remember. And
So you had a supportive dad when it comes to kind of going and reaching out for what you want. And
yeah, totally. And then the thing that my mom cared about was school, obviously, because this is my junior year of high school. Like this is like the most important time before college, right? So it was very tough in the beginning, but I had this crazy aha moment. So I would say about 3-4 months in, I ended up like kind of getting to the point where I wasn't. So I got there, I was like the worst guy there, right? I was physically not as strong. I was, technically like skills wise not as good. I wasn't like, I didn't have much stamina, and I didn't have the IQ that these guys had. But like after like 3-4 months, I kind of got up to speed, and like I was as strong, as smart, as close to as smart. I was never like the top, but I was up there, and I still couldn't compete. I was like, this is so weird. Like I was training, so these guys were training 3 hours a day. I was training 6 hours a day because the coaches wouldn't let me do anything less because I was smaller and not as good as everyone else. So like, they're like, if you want to stay here, you need to just do double the work.
Wow.
So, I mean, it was like craziness, but I did it. I got to a point where I was on par with these guys, and I still couldn't compete. And I was trying to figure out like, what is it? Like, why can't I win? You know what I mean? Like are you guys familiar with like 50-50 balls? Like if there's like a ball in the middle, right? Yeah. And then there's, I'm here, you're here. It's literally directly in the middle. We got to fight for it.
Oh, you just got to go for it, yeah.
Yeah, like I could never win those. And it wasn't because of strength. It wasn't because of tactics. It wasn't because of something. There was some hidden element that I couldn't figure out. And
I mean, it's probably because you remember what you said. Those guys are from like what you said, barrios is
barrios, yeah.
And they're gonna do whatever it takes. Because I remember when you were telling me last time, like these guys will do whatever it takes
100%
to get it done. Yeah. I mean, their mindset is totally different.
It's like they don't have any other choice.
Yeah, they don't have a choice. It's either this or go back to what they came from nothing.
Exactly. No, and that's exactly it, right? Yeah. So around that 3-4 month mark, on our jerseys we had a saying. It was called "Dueño de pasión," right? Which in English translates to owner of passion, like owner, like possessive owner, right? Yeah. The owner of passion, and like. I was thinking about all these things, like I can't win a soccer ball. I'm strong as these guys. I'm training harder. I'm doing all these things. I still can't win. And it kind of just clicked. I was like, exactly what you guys just said. Like, I have a choice. You know what I mean? I'm choosing to be here right now, right? I can do anything else. I can go back home. I can go to college. I can go back home. My dad had a business. I could always, I had options. You know what I mean? Like there was outlets for me to go had this not worked out.
Yeah.
These guys had nothing else. You know what I mean? And that moment I realized like, it doesn't matter what I do, whether it's soccer, business, anything, school, it doesn't matter, whatever it is, anything I do, if I want to really, truly be the best at it, I have to be the most passionate, right? I have to have that inner fire that nobody can come close to the level of passion, desire, and just sheer drive, right, to compete. So that was by far one of the biggest learning lessons I had, and I ended up finishing the year. Right, I was pretty early on, but I did a full year there. And when I came back, I finished up my senior year of high school, and that's kind of when I shifted away from soccer and I got into entrepreneurship.
Gotcha.
So I came back to the U.S. I had a bunch of friends that we also like trade, finance, stocks and stuff like that. Nothing crazy, but that's what we did. We thought it was fun. So I always had that business, side of me.
So would you say that the playing with the stocks and kind of getting into the financial realm was your entrance to entrepreneurship, or were there another story or something else that happened in your life, or seeing your parents was kind of what made you get into entrepreneurship? Because entrepreneurship is a choice, right? A lot of times it's not an easy choice. It's very, very difficult. A lot of people read about it, a lot of people hear about it, see videos, but that decision to go the entrepreneurship route, once you go there, most people don't have guidance.
Yeah, totally.
You're pretty much walking into a dark room and trying to figure out what the hell to do. Right? There is no such, I got the magic response, It's just work hard and never give up.
Yeah.
So what was your kind of direction, what the entrance for you to go into the entrepreneurship?
No, that's a great question. So first of all, my parents are entrepreneurs. So they've been pharmacists. They worked for pharmacies originally, but they eventually built their own company. And I always saw that. Like my dad worked like crazy. You know, like there were times where I remember I wouldn't see him for like we lived in the same house. I wouldn't see him for 3 weeks. You know what I mean? He's just working.
That's the life.
So yeah, you know, and so that's what I saw growing up, and I saw the bad side of it, not so much, but when I was young, like we didn't have like that much, but then I also saw a lot of the rewards too, which was nice, and so that was one of the things. The other thing was a lot of my friends' parents, they were all bankers, so that's where the stocks came in. So like whenever we had questions, and I'm like, they were like high levels in a lot of the big banks. Whenever we had questions, we'd ask them like, "What do we do?" You know? And we didn't think anything at the time. We just wanted to make money, like you know, like fun, stupid kind of little kids. Like we're just like in high school, like all like money hungry, like let's go. You know what I mean? But they gave like excellent advice, you know, and that kind of got me into the world of finances. It taught me how to read reports. I learned how to read P&L sheets, balance statements, like all these different financial statements that you need to know to understand the financial health of a company. So that's kind of where that went.
Wow. Okay.
But it's from my parents, and I think my friends' parents as well. That's where it comes from.
Got it.
So yeah, no. So I guess to start into like the whole entrepreneurship journey. So that was soccer, and then now I shifted into entrepreneurship. To graduate from high school, I had to do a project, right? Like everyone had to do it. Some people do like an internship. Some people, you know, fly abroad. Some people build something. Like one kid my grade built a motorcycle. So that year was the first year they had offered something called Startup 101, and it wasn't anything serious. It was just like literally the project was you're gonna build a proof of concept of a company, and at the end of the month, there's a month-long project. You're gonna pitch it to a panel of mock investors.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So wait, you did that in high school?
Yeah, that was my senior year. Yeah.
I don't remember like.
Our high schools didn't do
right?
that either.
Yeah.
Which they should. I think that's a curriculum, especially now things are online. Maybe the right person watched the video and introduced that to the younger ages, right?
I got super lucky with that though. Like they literally never did it before, right? This was like a test. A lot of people thought it was gonna fail. You know, there were so many uncertainties, right? And like even like as a group, we were kind of like, what are we in for? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is this really gonna be? Like, is it gonna mean anything? So anyway, we go through it, and the guy that's leading it, he's the guy that ended up, I'll talk about the tech company in a bit, but he ends up becoming like a mentor to me, and the whole group itself. And he's guiding us through what it takes to build a company. And it's super basically, like, it was actually frustrating because he almost didn't help us enough, right? Like he would say, I'll literally go through the stages. The first thing he made us do, he made us take sticky notes, right? Like post the sticky notes. And he's like, write down every problem you could think of and put it on the wall. And we're like, what? Okay. And then like now we're writing our ideas. Like we can do this, we can do that, we can do that. And he's like, no. Not solutions, write your problems. And we're like, but we want to build a company. And they're like, he's like, no. Don't write solutions, write problems. We're like, all right, whatever. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Whatever. So we're writing down the problems, and we wrote down like 10. And he's like, yeah, you got to make 100. And we're like, dude, like I can't think of 100 problems. Like what? That's crazy. So he's like, just do it. So we're like, okay, whatever. So we're like throwing down problems on the wall, like writing a problem, sticking on the wall, writing a problem, sticking on the wall. I got 100 problems. He's like, okay, take out half of them. Pick the top 50. And we're like, dude, this guy's crazy. Like what are we doing? Anyway, take down 50 of the problems. Now we got 50 left. He's like, okay, take down 25. There's another half. Okay, take down 25. All right, take down, get down to 10. So we get down to 10, get down to 5. And now we're like choosing, right? Now we're like, that was such a good problem. Like, that was such a serious problem. And we get down to 5, we get down to 3, we get down to 2, and then we finally pick one. And the problem we ended up picking was college tours. So like we were all seniors, we all had just finished the college application process. We were all in college, and we had all gone on college tours to go visit what college campuses look like. Yeah. And so like as an athlete, like I had like basically royal treatment at the schools. Like when I went to go visit the schools initially, right? They pick you up, give you lunch, introduce you to friends. It's literally like it's made for you. Yeah. But when you go on like a regular college tour, which is what I did after I decided I didn't want to play soccer anymore, They just kind of throw you in a big group of 25 people. They take you to see the library.
Yeah.
They show you the famous rock in the middle of the campus, and you're like, what? Who cares about this, right? So, and then they're like, okay, you can go live your life now. And you're like, what? Okay, whatever. So we realized like that experience was horrible. So we're like, okay, we all just lived it. We all know what it's like. We all know what the problems are. We're going to fix this. So we go, and the next stage after picking a problem was to validate a solution, right? So our solution or pick a solution first. The solution was we're going to do like VIP one-on-one tours, okay? So we validate the solution, so we pick a solution, which is the one-on-one tours. We validate it. So the way we validated is we went out and we literally asked 30 people who had already done this process, is this painful for you? How painful was it? And then we kind of gauged what that level of pain was.
Yeah.
And then what would this solution be better, right? And we kind of just pitched them an idea. That's all we did. We just said, hey, listen, like, what would it be more helpful if you had this experience? And we pitched them what a VIP experience would look like. Everyone was like super happy about that. So that's how we validate our solution. Then we had to actually build out a business plan. So we built out a business plan.
I'm still amazed that you guys did that like that early in high school. I think that's.
I'm serious. That was so
at
helpful.
that time, right? Because you're most creative.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like your brain is kind of like, give me a freaking problem and I'll give you the solution.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you could do it.
Yeah.
I'll give you the solution.
Yeah. Totally.
Right. And like,
but the thing is, like he had a platform, right?
Yeah.
That thing where he goes back to like the startup 101, what it's called, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, how many high schools for example, in New York City who has that?
None, zero.
You know?
Yeah.
Zero.
I mean, that's something that that needs to happen in the education system.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%.
Going back to the other, what we talked about is education important.
Yeah, it's a hot topic right now.
But you obviously realize that one of the things about entrepreneurs is like whenever they come up with a business idea is something that they have went through themselves or something they saw someone else going through. A lot of times people start businesses is because of the pains and sorrows that they have dealt with. Like your guy in the Startup 101 said, come up with 100 problems. Yeah. Because entrepreneurs are always making solutions for problems. 100 problems. So you realize that as an athlete, I get VIP status, but regular people are not getting VIP status for these colleges. Mm-hmm. So how can everybody else get the VIP status? Yeah. And you realize that. But after that, you were like what? You were in college then, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. So I ended up going. So
did you raise any money for this project? Or
yeah. So we ended up at the end of that month, we ended up pitching to the mock investors, who we didn't know were actual investors. Wow. Right. So they were. So remember I was saying like the guy who ran this.
Out of how many people were you competing?
No, there was no competition. It was just us. Yeah. So. It was 8 of us, I believe it was.
On that one team.
Yeah. So going back to the guy who was running it, who ends up becoming like a mentor of mine, he has a tech company. At this point, it's a small tech company. He's still working as an employee in the school. Mm-hmm. I don't know what I never asked the financial reasons, but his company was still being built, right? Gotcha. And he was still working while running that company. Gotcha. But he had insight into investors, into what it meant to build a business. And he was sharing that insight with us. So the investors that invested in his company were the same investors that were there. Yeah. At the mock pitch. Okay. So we made the pitch, and they're like, we're not going to invest, right? The pitch went really well. Like we were all like, everyone was like very happy with the results of it. The investors were like, listen, we're not going to give you money because like your financial projections are horrible. Right? Yeah, they're like, you're not gonna make $10 million. You know what I mean? So like, but they gave really good feedback. They're like, listen, other than like the financial craziness that you guys have going on, the idea is pretty rock solid. You should go validate it more and try to get a little bit of like friends and family money to go build this thing up. So, I'll go through this quickly. So basically, a lot of that team ended up going to college. They didn't want to continue the project. This was like, I don't know why I felt so attached to this. It felt like my baby. Like I just had to see it through.
That right there is the true entrepreneurship right there, because you felt it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Emotional.
That project was attached to you, so you knew there was something there, and you felt it wasn't complete.
Yeah, totally.
So you kind of like you connected as one.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
in Matrix,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
You connected
exactly.
as one, you became one with the project.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times in entrepreneurship, a lot of people fail to have that connection,
Yeah.
and they keep on pushing. And once they keep on pushing and they still don't have the connection, that's when they get hurt, because then they get like, oh, entrepreneurship is not for me. You know, this is not how it works. But I think that's a very key point.
Yeah.
Like everybody went their way, but you're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
You know, we have something good.
Yeah.
You know? Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's a great point. That there was like this little like ember. It wasn't a fire yet. It was just like something was burning. I was like, there's
Gotta light it up.
something here. Yeah. So yeah, I was in San Francisco that summer. So I ended up like pitching all these investors. Everyone said no. It was like, I was like crushed. You know, like I went from like these mock investors telling me I have the chance to like going to San Francisco, which is like Silicon Valley. It's like the dream of every entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Getting denied by everyone. And I'm like on this crazy downhill roller coaster. I'm like, I literally like, I just like, that's it. Like, I tried. Like, it's over.
How old are you then? It's still 17, right?
I probably just turned 18 at this time. Yeah.
Damn, pitching at 18?
Yeah. That probably
And moved to
pitching
San
at
Fran.
18?
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Pitching.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't. Well, okay. So funny little side story about the San Fran.
Yeah.
My mom made me go to an intensive Arabic course over there.
Okay.
And I just
So like Islamic Arabic or just learning Arabic?
It was Arabic. It happened to be Islamic, but that wasn't the focus. Like a lot of people were Muslim there, but it was really Arabic.
Yeah.
So she paid for it. She sent me out there, zero supervision. I ended up unenrolling myself, and I got the check back. And I didn't realize I was gonna get the check back, and they wrote it to my name. So I got the check for that summer course. I just stayed in San Francisco, and I just let them assume that I was doing the intensive course, and that's when I went to go do it.
Is it okay to get this out? Your mom watching this?
Yeah, she knows.
She knows?
Already. She knows all these bad secrets. So
Ibrahim's leaks.
yeah, exactly. So that's actually, I didn't move. I was supposed to be at a course there, and I just didn't show up. So that was really how that worked. But so no one gave me money. I ended up calling my manager, who was in Argentina, and
my soccer
manager.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, dude, like I was like basically crying on the phone, like my life is over. No one likes my idea, blah blah blah. And eventually he's like pitch me, like what's your idea? And I was like, dude, like it's all good, like it's done. Don't worry about it. He's like, just pitch me your idea. I was like, all right, whatever. So I got my game phase on. I'm getting ready to go. I pitched him the idea, and he's like, listen, I have a U.S. bank account. It's got $150,000 in it. The money's yours. And I was like, what?
He probably was a full shock right there.
I was like, no, this is crazy. Like, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, man, like, I can't, like, there was like economic issues in Argentina. He's like, I don't even touch the money anyway. I believe in you. I've seen what you can do. Like, go do this. I was like, all right, like, we're in business. Like, this is it. So that helped me build the beginning of that company. While I'm building this company, this is when I first learned how to do customer acquisition, right? Like I learned what it meant to acquire new customers and get them into your system, and to monetize those clients over a long period of time. So that was like the big thing, and we ended up like selling that company. So it wasn't like a crazy like multi-billion-dollar sale, but it was a sale, which was pretty cool. And that capital, I ended up putting into a failing gym. Right, so this is like now my second little venture.
How old are you now?
I was 19.
Okay.
Yeah, so almost 20, like right before I was 20.
Gotcha.
Somewhere around there, yeah. So I put my money to this. So this failing gym, the quick story is there's two partners, silent partner, active partner. The active partner bails because the company's losing $20,000 a month. Silent partner is a silent partner, but now she's on the hook for the finances, right? And she's like, like just ready to liquidate everything, sell the company, just be done with it, right? And remember, this is when I had first done customer acquisition, like marketing, advertising.
Can you explain what do you mean by customer acquisition?
Yeah, so literally, there are people. Let's say you have a business. There are people all over the world right now, right? A lot of them, some of them can use your product or service. Okay. Customer acquisition is literally, those two words. It's finding those clients, attracting them, okay, sharing an offer or message that they can resonate or feel passionately about, and then eventually converting them into someone that is giving you money for your product or service.
Gotcha.
That's what customer acquisition is. So so instead of liquidating and selling the gym, I'm like, hey, listen, like I just did this, and this. building this company. Basically, I think it was like 600 and some, I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was like 600 and something clients that we had acquired throughout under a year, right? And we'd grown this company. I was like, I know exactly how to do this. I'm fresh off of it. I know, like, I can do this. You know what I mean? And like, I'll give some capital out of my own pocket, so you know that like I'm not just like trying to take you for a ride. So the company is losing $20,000 a month. I come in. It's an all-female gym. I can't physically go inside. Okay.
That's hard.
Think about how it's kind of a problem when you have to run a business. You can't physically go inside your own business. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, this is like a shitty problem. Like how do I
Zoom, bro.
Yeah.
Zoom is a solution for all of that.
Zoom wasn't big back then, but so what I ended up doing was surveys, right? And this is the first time I started like really getting serious about surveys. I gave everyone a survey because I had no other way to communicate, right? Yeah. I gave the members a survey. I gave the person who cleaned the gym a survey. I gave we had caretakers survey. I gave the employees. I gave everyone I could possibly give a survey just to get an idea for what the biggest problems we had in the company were, okay, from both the internal perspective of the staff, but also the perspective of the members, but also the strengths, right? That's all I wanted to see. I want to see what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses. Because if you guys are familiar with like gym models, they're recurring revenue, right? So every month you pay membership, $40, $40. So it's the same model as technology, right? Like the way software works. And you'll see why that's important in a second. But so the problem with the model was let's say we were getting one new member in the door. Yeah. We were losing one new member just as fast. So that's called churn.
Almost like zero.
Yep, exactly. You're not growing, right? It's called, actually, no, that's wrong. We had negative churn. I think it was like 2 to 1.
So you're losing more.
We're losing 2.
Yeah. Okay.
So we had negative churn, right? So the reason why we're doing strengths and weaknesses was to figure out the weaknesses would help us understand what the problems in the company were that were causing members to leave, right? Okay. The first step was, how do we stop the bleeding? That was really the question, okay? How do we stop people from leaving the company? So we figured out what the problems were. Because it was an all-female gym, we realized that the bathroom area needed like a serious update. A lot of the members were like 35 to 50 years old, and they were mothers or caretakers, and their favorite classes were around 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. What are significant about those times? School drop off and pick up, right? So they couldn't even attend their favorite classes, and then there was like a couple other minor things that like the gym wasn't really being managed, like it wasn't as clean as it could have been.
But so, all these answers you got from doing the survey, basically.
Just surveys. Yeah.
And how many people did you survey? Like people,
over
members as well too, right?
Over 2,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah, like so many surveys.
So once you saw the gym was bleeding out, you try to figure out, all right, I need to understand what's going on. Yeah. Then you realize instead of focusing on getting new customers, you need to save as many as you can first to stop the bleeding, and then you figure out the next step.
So the reason why that's important is because when you're spending money to acquire a new customer, if you acquire that customer and then they leave next month, that's kind of a problem, right? So the first thing you want to do if you have a company that's bleeding customers, you want to stop the bleeding. Right? It's like a doctor. Like if someone gets a gash in their wound, they're not going to go for surgery right away. The first thing they do is they stop the bleeding. They're going to put them in the ambulance and they're going to take them to the hospital. Then when they're at the hospital and the bleeding stops, then they can like start fixing things a little bit more, right? With more care, with more finesse, right? So that's all we're doing. We're just trying to put a Band-Aid on the bleeding, right? And how do we do that? We renovated the bathrooms. We changed around the schedule. We ended up actually having to fire a couple trainers that weren't as enthusiastic as we wanted them to be, and we just cleaned up everything. And like that gym, I think it was like 11 p.m. to 4 or 5 a.m. was the closed hours. I was the one cleaning the gym during those hours, right? Because I was like, I didn't have that much money. I had to do something, so like that was what I could do, and that's what I did. So literally, like midnight to early morning, I was just cleaning the gym, everything, dust, bathroom, like everything. I was just cleaning, right? And that ended up stopping the bleeding, right? So now this is when we ended up actually going a little bit positive on our churn, right? So like we reduced churn, which means we weren't bleeding customers anymore. We were acquiring, I think it was 3, somewhere, it was like 2 or 3 to 1. We got 3 new members and we would lose 1. Right? So that's okay now because now we're still positive, right? If I bring in a bunch of new members, we're still okay. So after we did that, we stopped the bleeding. The next thing we did was we had a long list of ex-members that had left because of the same reasons we just fixed, okay? this actually kind of went parallel, right? So we realized the problems, we started fixing them. As we started fixing them, we sent out I think it was 2,200 members, old members, right? So these members that had signed up, had paid, and then left. 2,200 people. It's a lot of people for a small gym. We sent them an offer. The offer was, hey, listen, we know we're doing this, this, and this wrong, okay? We're sorry that, and we know that, something along the lines of, we know that this was probably one of the reasons why you left the gym in the first place. We're really sorry that we had to see you go, and we're sorry that we didn't care enough. But right now, we're addressing these problems. Here's what we're doing to fix it. And over the next 3 months, what we want to do is we want to offer you a free membership for 3 months, okay? You don't pay a dime.
Right.
And all we want to do is to prove to you that we are taking care of this business, and that we're gonna show you that this company can be something that you can be proud of.
Wow.
That's it, right?
And that cost is nothing for you because the gym,
more or less
come in
nothing.
and out,
Yeah,
it's-
relatively nothing.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. So the gym was actually, it was this was like minuscule, but like we sold shakes, right?
Yeah.
So like you have a little bit more people buying shakes, but it wasn't like craziness. You know what I mean? Nothing substantial. However, at the end of those 3 months, the members saw the changes that we were making.
Yeah.
And it was like 400 or 500, again, I can't remember exact numbers, 400 or 500 members just like that signed up again.
wow.
So we went from negative 20K to breaking even. And now it's like, okay, like we can all relax a little bit. Like we're not bleeding every month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we kind of saved this company. So now that took 4 months, right? So that wasn't that much time.
Wow.
The next 4 months was all growth. So we tested a couple of offers. We did like Fitbit giveaway, like Fitbit, like the bracelet giveaways. But the one that we did, we ended up realizing, again, going back to the financial model, it's recurring revenue. If you come on month one, it's $40, $40, $40. After 3 months, it's $120, okay?
Yeah.
I know that as the owner. So what I did is we ended up building a little package. It was a Nike duffel bag, a shirt, a bottle, and a towel.
Yeah.
Okay? It cost us a little bit over $100 to make it, but we knew we would get people in like hotcakes if that was the offer. Like, hey, listen, anyone who joins gets like a free starter kit to get the gym, and we've got all these giveaways going. Like, there's a lot of buzz going here, and we just went all over town. We started doing this giveaway, assuming they signed up, and we knew that members were staying 8 months if they were to stay.
Got it.
So if the cost is 3 months, right? So if you ever seen like that, like, it's hard to describe it with words, but like basically you have like this little graph.
Yeah.
The marketing spend is negative in the beginning, but
Yes.
once you hit month 3, you're breaking even, and after month 3, you're all positive.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same model tech companies use.
Gotcha.
Right? And I keep referencing tech companies because it's about to get into that.
Yeah.
So we I don't remember again. I think we ended up going from a negative 20,000 month swing to positive $20,000 a month.
Wow.
So the company got saved, and that was 8 months of work. Yeah. And that was the second little venture, right? So like I'm getting these wins, and then there's a little like the final story, which is that mentor that helped me in high school. His company, they were trying to switch from a one-time purchase software application to a recurring revenue model app, and recurring revenue is just what I did, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, whoa, hold on, wait a minute for a second, like. If you're trying to make that switch, I literally, I had studied those financial models in and out. I knew how to make that model work. I had done customer acquisition over and over again. I knew how to make that work. He needed those two things. I was like, literally, these are my two experiences. I can help you do this. Let's go.
Wow.
So now, I thought I was going to be initially a partner in this company, in the tech company. So now we're moving on to company 3.
So the third company is the same mentors.
Yeah, the same
His
mentors
company, who's a teacher, had that startup doing that tech.
Exactly.
That's his company, right?
That's his company. Yeah, so he's a co-founder of the company.
Gotcha.
So I thought I was gonna be hot shot, and I had, I was kind of walking around with a chip on my shoulder. I was like, I just built this company, sold it. Then I just flipped a failing company. I was like a little bit of hubris is going, right?
Yeah.
So then I go into this company, and he signs me up as an intern. Okay. And I'm like, what the fuck? What? I'm showing up in a suit ready to make financial models.
Yeah.
And I'm not joking. The first thing he made me do.
And you were like what, 21?
Now I'm about to turn 21.
You were about to turn 21.
About to turn 21. And he's like, hey, listen, we got these clients. They just bought our services. Can you wrap gift boxes for them and send them out via FedEx? I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, we got these leftover stickers, these leftover pens, okay? Like, they're like the crappiest pens I've ever seen, the crappiest stickers, like you know, like when you go to like a trade show and you have all those like leftover giveaway stuff? That's what I had to work with, right? Yeah. I was like, you want me to make, like, I just told you what I could do and you want me to make gift boxes? Like, like what? So all right, whatever. And I tried to like get around it, but there's no way around it. Like, I had to do this, right?
So to a point to that, right? Yeah. I feel like nowadays, like what happens is you have a lot of, like, obviously it's like ego, right?
Yeah.
It's like, obviously you went from a situation where you took a dying business and succeeded and make it very successful at a young age, right?
Yeah.
And you sold it too. Yeah. You exited. What happens in those scenarios is nowadays I feel like we have a lot of young kids who entrepreneurs, not entrepreneurs too, not entrepreneurs as well. When they go into a certain place for a business or to work or internship, and you know, like for example, you went in there to do the financial markets.
Yeah.
But you're doing something else. Yeah. A lot of people would have left.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I didn't come for this. I came for something else.
So that's a really good point, and I'm gonna add to that because I think one thing I see a lot today is people pick the opportunity that pays them more today, but fails to pay them more tomorrow. Right? Yeah.
And I mean, that's the problem with everything in general, right? Yeah. We are always looking for something that's gonna make us fast. Something's gonna happen today.
Yeah, totally.
But what any entrepreneur, any individual in general should be thinking 5-10 years.
Yeah, totally.
Right? Say for example, you intern at a company. Even if it takes you to clean the bathroom and the boss is telling you to clean the bathroom, but you're learning something from this individual who has a lot of experience, you can take that and utilize that for the next 5 years.
Yeah, 100%. And you mentioned like cleaning the bathroom.
Yeah.
Real entrepreneurs do the dirty. No, I do have a story.
I mean, you did with the gym. You had to clean the bathroom and all of that.
Like literally, it was dirty as it was so dirty. Yeah. I don't care. But like the point I want to make is like there's 2 points. One is real entrepreneurs do whatever they have to do. Yeah. Right. The moment you think something's above you,
that's it. That's it.
You're done. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and there's also the topic of like there are a-hole, you know, entrepreneurs and there's like genuine leaders. Yeah. Right. You can be the a-hole entrepreneur. You can be the a-hole leader, or you can be the genuine leader. Right. The genuine leader is the person that takes care of everyone. They wipe after them. They pick them up when they're dead. And that like cleaning the bathroom is part of that. Yeah. Right? It's unfortunate, but that's part of it. Yeah. Right? Like, and I take it like so that's a really important point. The other thing is you mentioned instant gratification. Right now, anyone that's in their 20s, you know, teens, whatever it is, early stages of your career, the most valuable thing you can get right now is experience.
Yes.
It will pay you back so much more and so much faster in 3 to 5 years if you just delay the gratification, okay, and realize like, hey, find an opportunity, find a good opportunity, of course, right? Find a good opportunity where you're learning next to someone that knows more than you, that's the owner of a company. Do anything for them. Clean their mugs, get them coffee. If they have a suit or whatever, go dry clean their. Do whatever. Get close to them. See how they think. You're gonna notice how they talk. You're gonna notice what their attitudes are like. You're gonna notice how they hold themselves. You're gonna notice how they look at deals, how they speak with people, how they treat people. You're gonna learn. Like entrepreneurship is more about life than it is about business. Right? Like you gotta win at life. I realized this myself. Like over the last 2-3 years, like your environment, I didn't realize how important your environment was. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like when I first started my career, I was always around entrepreneurs. Yeah. I was just like curious to the point where I was naive. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I would just ask everyone everything. Yeah. I had no fear of like what they might think. Like I don't know why. I just didn't have
Picked it, right?
Yeah. I got a question. Hey, can you help me? Yeah. Right? Hey, I'm struggling with this. I can't do this, and that. Do you know how you have a solution? I just call people, right? And I ended up stopping doing that after, like, I thought I knew everything, right? Which that was kind of one of the humbling lessons. And I stopped getting curious. I stopped calling people. I stopped hanging out with the people that I knew were pushing me further because I thought I knew everything, and it just crushed me. Like my career took such a nosedive so fast. you wouldn't even believe it, right? So last week I realized I wasn't waking up as early as I normally wake up. And normally I wake up and I go for a run. And I've been listening to music for the past 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
Usually I listen to a podcast, but those last 2-3 weeks I was listening to music. Okay. And the podcast, I don't listen to anything crazy. Honestly, I barely even listen. It's just the fact that I'm listening to something that's positive.
It's keeping the momentum
That's keeping
going.
my it's like almost subconscious. It's like, I know in my mind, I'm listening to this person, right?
You're just setting your mindset to
That's all it is.
I do the same thing.
Right? That's it. I'm barely listening.
Yeah.
It's really, that's all it is. And it's just like, it's just reminding me, like, you gotta keep going, keep going, keep going. And it's literally a daily thing. It's the people you hang out. So if you can't, so my point is, if you can't, like, you're in COVID, you're stuck at home, you can't get away from, your family that's negative and telling you that you can't start a business because you're gonna fail, like whatever.
To a point that you were saying, one of the things that I do is, whenever I'm driving, for example, right, I have a key number of people that if I call them and I just talk random stuff, maybe business or something of an idea, that by the end of the call, I'll be a little motivated.
Totally.
Like I called you the other day and I was like, yo, dude, we need to get back on China Chat. Got to do the video. Let's go. And he's like, okay, man, I'm ready. Let's go. Like, it's just, I have key people. I would just randomly call. Maybe if I'm like down or something.
Yeah, totally.
I'd be like, okay, maybe I have something to think about. I need motivation.
Yeah.
End of the day, the thing that we do, if you're an entrepreneur, you're pushing, you need a lot of juice in your system.
Oh my God, yeah.
The juice is very important, but the thing is, everybody has a down day, or just your body gives up, your mind gives up, you're just tired.
Oh my God.
It happens. We're human.
Oh, 100%.
And so I honestly, like you just said, I have a list of people that I randomly call, like, hey bro, what's going on? How are you? What you been up to? Then he will ask me a gazillion questions about my business and I will tell him. So I will feel good. I will feel good to update him just talking about my own business. Like, okay, I just remembered this is what we need to do. This was happening. Okay, this is cool. This is good. Back to the beats.
It's like a refresher.
It's like a refresher.
Yeah.
You just gotta keep motivating yourself, keep juicing up the system. That's it. It's very important.
So I don't want to lose track either. We were you had to do the gift boxes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How long were you in that company for?
So I was there for just under 3 years.
Okay.
So we're talking about the gift boxes. You said something that's really important. You said delayed gratification. And you guys were mentioning it. So you mentioned something, but there's a really important point to this. So when first win with the first company, second win with the second company, I'm on a high, right?
I'm a high roll guy right now. Suit and tie.
And guess what they offered me? I'm not an employee. I'm not a partner. I'm an intern.
Yeah.
And guess how much they were paying me? Seriously, take a guess.
15 an hour, 12 an hour? I don't know, man. More than that?
Is that high, low?
That's low. That's high.
That's high?
That's high?
Yeah.
$8 an hour?
10?
No. They paid me $200 a month.
A month?
A month.
I need my phone.
I think I did the math. I think it was under $1 an hour.
Oh my God.
So
it's $50 a week.
So they, but it was paid monthly. So I only got I got this big lump sum of cash.
It was nice like that. In other countries actually, they get paid salary monthly, right?
Oh really?
Yeah.
I know. That's pretty cool.
Well, in South Asia, South Asia in general, Pakistan does that, Bangladesh does that too. People get paid salary monthly.
That happened over here.
Yeah, people will bug out.
Oh my God. But so the funny part is, so they gave me $200 a month, and this was like me going into college, right? And the founder was my mentor from high school.
Yeah.
And he is a Columbia it's either dual Columbia or dual Harvard. He's got 3 degrees, 2 from Columbia or 2 from Harvard and 1 from the other. Make sense?
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, you can't drop out of college. Like, I can't let that happen. Like, you're like,
he's telling you.
Yeah.
Were you thinking about dropping out of college at that time?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. So
after that gym experience.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was. To me, I was like, I'm not going to school. Yeah. So to cap me, right, to restrict me from not dropping out of school.
Yeah.
Right. I said that way more complicated. To make me stay in school.
Yeah.
Right. He capped me at $200 a month to basically like
humble you, basically.
Yeah, humble me.
Not make money priority.
Yeah. And then also, he limited me to 20 hours a week.
Oh,
okay? On paper.
Yeah.
Okay? And like every single week, okay, I would write him an invoice, okay? I got paid monthly, but the deal was I had to write a monthly invoice, weekly invoice. Every single week, I would write 20 hours plus 60 hours overtime, 80 hours total. Thank you for your business. $50. Okay, okay, and I would send it to him every freaking week. Okay, and I knew I was getting underpaid. Okay, but I also knew whatever task he was going to give me, I was going to do the best at it. Right, I was going to earn the trust within the company, and I saw there was a path for me to grow to the top, and I was like, that's my path. No one's getting in my way. I'm going to get that path. Like I'm doing it, right? And like, you know, so I think the lesson there is like, don't be. We're talking about like money being the thing that people pick today.
50 cents an hour. A little over 50 cents an hour.
Well, I don't know. It's literally cents. It's like this is like illegal labor, like up to a whole to another level, right?
Well, when it comes to entrepreneurship, there's no such thing as illegal labor.
Yeah.
Because entrepreneurship, you got to put in 100 hours, 150 hours, just to make $1.
I know, it's crazy. So these little menial tasks keep happening, by the way, right? Yeah. Like it wasn't like this was the one, and now I get financial model, access. That's not how it worked. Yeah. So I did the gift boxes. I did it like rapidly, and I did it fantastically. And I'm like, okay, next project. Okay. And I knew that one of the sales reps was sending out so many emails every day. So it's like, hey, like, give me the marketing list, the whole marketing list. I'll run the marketing. Yeah. And they're like, whoa, like, we're not going to give you the whole list. You can write, the guy's name was Sam. You can write emails under Sam's name. I was like, I don't even get credit for that. Like, I got to write the emails and I have to put his name on my emails.
Corporate America, man.
Yeah. I was like, seriously? And he's like, yeah, like, we got to make sure you actually know how to write emails. I was like, are you effing kidding me, right?
Like, do you even know what I just completed?
Like, I was so pissed off. But again, same attitude. I was like, okay, you guys want to play this game? We'll play this game, okay? Yeah. I'm going to write the best goddamn emails you've ever seen. Mm. And I did that. So he was writing, I think it was a 3-email cold outreach sequence. I did some research on like what it took to do, to get a really strong outreach sequence. And I realized the 13th message point of outreach is oftentimes the cold prospect converts, or at least gives you the right of attention. Yeah. So I wrote a 14 email sequence. Yeah. Right. One more than what the statistical average would have been. And I created it, put him out. He got so busy, we had to hire another sales rep. Mm-hmm. So then I took that as leverage. I'm like, listen, I made the best gift boxes, okay? And we had gotten like a bunch of responses back, like, oh, thanks for the gift boxes. And I was like, you got great responses back. You asked me to do an email thing. You said I couldn't write emails. I got so many emails back, so many responses back. You need to hire someone else so you can actually close the volume of sales that are coming to this business. I want the whole email list. And they kept giving me a couple of little things. But after the sales thing, they actually let me send emails from my own name, right? Okay. So like I got that right, you know what I mean? And it literally, that's how I grew. It was like baby steps. And I just like knew like I had to make myself so irreplaceable that if I left this company, these guys would fall. You know what I mean? And that was literally like my strategy. I'm gonna do the best I can do. I'm gonna become irreplaceable, and eventually they're gonna have no choice but to let me be something within the company. And that's what happened.
Because you're gonna bring value that nobody else can.
Yeah. That's exactly what ended up happening.
And you became partner in that company, right?
Exactly.
How many years it took you?
2.5 years.
2.5 years.
So.
And you guys exited as well, right?
So the company actually still exists. Yeah. I ended up just leaving.
Yeah.
But the company does exist. It did really well during COVID.
Yeah.
I left to go into consulting, which is what I do now. So yeah.
What you been up to during COVID though?
Yeah. So when I ended up leaving tech, I got into. This is a really important story because this is where I got humbled. Like so humbled. Oh my God. So the company, when I left the tech company, it was basically around a $50 million company. Mm-hmm. So we grew from $3 to $50 million in about 3 years. It was like an awesome growth, right? Yeah. And towards the end of it, I basically kind of felt like I was getting outvoted on, like there was 5 people making decisions. I felt like I kept getting outvoted. Mm-hmm. And basically, I wanted to go towards the B2B route where we go after corporate America because I knew the money was there. And a lot of the other side of the company wanted to go stay in K through 12 education, which is where we had done really well. And we had done really well there, but it was limited. Like there was a clear ceiling, you know what I mean? So I felt like I could do better on my own. And this is kind of where the arrogance kind of came in now. Like, I felt I could do better on my own. I could make more money on my own. I don't need a team. I don't need partners. I don't need backing. Like, I literally would say, like, everything I touch would turn to gold. Like, and it's like the most arrogant thing you could say, right? And it's so stupid because
you have track record.
Yeah, but I had track record because I was doing the work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and here's the shift. When I left without a plan. I decided I'm going to become a consultant and help other companies scale the way I've done it so well the past 3 times, right? And I stopped reading, I stopped working out, I stopped doing all the things the little things, like the things that you're supposed to do every day. And like when you stop doing these things, nothing happens for a couple months. Yeah. But then it catches up with you. And when it catches up with you hard. Like you just kind of, this is like one of those moments you wake up, you look in the mirror, you're like, oh,
what the hell happened?
Yeah, like, I just got hit hard, right? Yeah. And the problem was I went to consulting. I've always been like great at sales, so I could sell anything. But I couldn't fulfill, right? My promise was I'm going to help doctors scale their practices. So I would get the contracts. I would start trying to advertise and build marketing systems for them. I had no idea about healthcare, right? The only reason I went into it was, again, this is a bad reason to go into it. I went into it for the money, and I went into it because I thought it would look good. That's why I went into it. And I couldn't fulfill. I couldn't get the job done. And I returned so many checks back to the clients because I was like, I'm sorry, but I can't do this. And that happened for a year and a half. I didn't make a single dollar for like a year and a half, right? Like my confidence was shot. I was like, everything that was good. I started asking myself or telling myself like, okay, these last couple of years of you doing these 3 businesses, that was all luck. Like you don't actually have what it takes to build a business. Like doubt to the highest level. Okay.
Yeah. You're like doubting your own confidence.
Everything.
You build up.
Yeah. Everything.
Experiences. Wow.
So, and that was like a super dark time. When I had, after the 3 companies, I had a good amount of money, right? And like, I had bought a Porsche, I had bought a Ducati, I had an M3, I had a badass apartment. Yeah, exactly. So I had all these material things. And then I kind of realized I got to sell this stuff because I don't have any money coming in. You know what I mean? Like I'm running out of cash. Yeah. And to me, I was able to keep that stuff and start this consulting company because everything was going to be fine. Like I'm who I am and I know what I know. And if I just do what I do, everything will be fine. Yeah. The arrogance was outrageous, and I ended up having to sell everything, which was crazy, right? Just to kind of keep myself afloat. So like, I got so humbled, and I think the important part of that is like, it doesn't really matter what you've done. Nobody really cares whether it's good or bad, right? Like some people want to hide the fact that they've had losses in the past, right? But the same thing applies for the wins, right? Like it doesn't matter if I sold $1 billion company. Like it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like all that matters is what are you doing right now? Yeah. Like no one cares what you did. They only care about what you're doing. Yeah. So, that was like, I had to learn that the hard way, man. That was a hard freaking lesson to learn. So, that's when I shifted to consulting. And to answer your question right now, like what am I doing in the pandemic? I've noticed a lot of companies wanting to go online. Yeah. So I'm still consulting. I am a business and marketing consultant, and I help coaches and e-commerce companies scale their companies. So most recently, which has been interesting, I've been helping, like I said, coaches. They've had either information products or video products or group coaching or some sort of like coaching or leadership type of offer, helping them sell those products online. So yeah, that's what I've been doing in COVID.
Cool. Awesome. So, Abe, thank you so much for the knowledge, your story, and, all the tips.
Yeah, man, we could go on for days. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to do like a part 2 of this.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Talk about more details about other things in life.
Yeah.
I think we should also in our part 2 when we do like sales, customer acquisition, stuff like that.
Yeah, a little bit more in depth
into marketing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
This could be school.
Yeah.
Class.
Yeah.
Education.
This could be the education.
The Abe school.
Coach Abe.
Coach Abe, yeah.
I was telling you before we started doing the interview or podcast. I put a special. So every month I put a report together for my clients.
Yeah.
I don't share it publicly. If I were to share it publicly, I'd probably charge it, to be very honest. But I created a special link on my website for you guys. So if anybody wants to learn, like right now, what I'm doing, I'm running online, product or service launches. They're like 6+ figure range. If anybody in your community wants to learn about it, the website to go to is Abe Abukwaik, my name, and you can probably spell it in the description. /Chai and Chat.
Gotcha.
So we get our own custom link.
Yeah.
Guys, data is king. Don't miss out on this.
Yeah, so basically,
we're definitely gonna put the link in the description. Make sure you check it out.
Yeah, so basically, I'll walk every month. I walk the people that are seeing that through what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. Basically, what's making money. Right? What's making money? Marketing online. And
you got everybody. You said it. It's making money. That's what everybody put out.
So just wanted to put that out for you guys.
Yeah, man. Awesome video. Thanks for coming on, and part 2, man. We're super excited to have you on again.
Awesome.
And talk hustle, baby.
Thank you guys for having me.
So
thank you guys.
Ferrari out here, Chai and Chat.
Porsche out here. Chai out.